In life, not everything turns out the way one would expect. William Gordon Gordon was born in Scotland in 1848, and because his prospects were not good in Scotland, he came to Trinidad at the age of 17. Upon his arrival, he got a job at the Colonial Bank, which was located on what is now known as Independence Square. He worked there for a few years and then left the bank and went to work for a company called Anthony Cumming and Company. He remained there for 7 years. After that, he returned to the Colonial Bank and went to work in the loans department. And it was in the loans department that he learned skills that he would then use in his later life in his business ventures. After the year in the bank, he went to work for a firm, an import-export firm that specialized in saltfish and cocoa. He remained there for 11 years, and then the firm dissolved. At which point, he then formed a partnership with George Grant to form the company of Gordon Grant. And this company would become the foundation of his wealth and also cause him to be the most hated businessman in Trinidad. In 1891, George Grant retired from the firm, and others joined in partnership with William Gordon Gordon. But after a short while, they all left. It seemed that William Gordon was a very difficult man to get along with, micromanaging everything and being a dictator. Even his brother left the firm. But that's not the reason why people hated him. Gordon Grant started off as an import-export company and then branched off into other business ventures, including sugar and cocoa estates. Gordon was one of the largest shareholders in the Trinidad Electric Company, and the firm of Gordon Grant was one of the first to be involved in selling motor cars. As his wealth grew, Gordon's position in society rose. He was one of the founding members of the Trinidad Chamber of Commerce. He was presented to King Edward VII. He was Trinidad's representative at the coronation of King George V. He became a member of Trinidad's Legislative Council. Before I proceed, let me ask, if you're enjoying this video, please share it with any others who you think may also enjoy it. Most of the sugar and cocoa estates operated using credit. The import firms would supply them with the goods needed to run the estate, and would supply them these goods on credit. When the crop was reaped and sold, the estate owners would then pay back the import firms for the goods that had been supplied on credit. Gordon Grant was part of this cycle of supplying goods on credit, and so supplied many estates with goods on credit, and in some cases also supplied the cash that was needed for operating the estate. At crop time, if the prices were not good, and if the value of the crops reaped was not enough to pay back for the goods that were supplied on credit, William Gordon Gordon was quick to foreclose on the estate and seize the land. He became a hated man. Many of the French Creole planters called him the bloodsucker. Over time, through the seizing of estates who could not repay for the goods supplied on credit, William Gordon Gordon, through his company Gordon Grant, acquired 50 estates. A story is told of a woman who came to Gordon because her husband had died, and she came asking Gordon for an extension of time to pay off the loan. Gordon refused and then told her that the value of the land was not sufficient to repay the debt. He then took her gold bangles, her gold earrings, and gold wedding ring as further payments. Many of the planters, especially the French Creole planters, hated him as a result. In anticipation of his death, Wiliam Gordon Gordon built a huge mausoleum in Lapiro Cemetery because he wanted to be remembered long after his death. In 1922, he died at the age of 74, and his body was interred in the mausoleum. Over time, the tomb was not cared for, and eventually a vagrant moved in and made it his home. You may be wondering why he was called Wiliam Gordon Gordon. Why did he have what seems to be two surnames? The best that I can deduce is that Wiliam Gordon Gordon was called by that name because he was born William Gordon and later adopted the surname Gordon again, possibly due to family or personal reasons. This double use of the surname is not uncommon and can sometimes be seen in historical records. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see other videos of activities in Trinidad or of historical events that took place in Trinidad, please select one of the videos that is appearing on your screen now.